Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave
Well, hello there,
Baylor.
Nate. I love
Hello.
seeing you jamming out to your Not Nerd theme
To the
song.
song.
So great.
Yes. So
And
good. We need to. I found the video of when we put lyrics to the song, and I will. I'm committing to our listeners. I will release that, re-release that. It's been unearthed, and get it out there for the world to have the words that go along with our theme song.
yeah, well,
Ah, yes.
I can't tell from my view, how does our picture and sound look on the thing to you? Looks a little
I
choppy to
don't
me,
know.
but
I just went to the. No, not what. Oh, I pressed pause. No audio will come through if you pause the live stream at home, folks.
yeah, that's a good
That's
tip. Thanks for the tip.
oh, and yeah, I'm
Oh,
not
we two watching
kidding.
live, one of you and one of me, it looks
Woohoo!
like. Yeah,
Oh yeah, audios
picture's
sound pretty
glitchy.
good.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, Todd. I wonder if it's because my computer is trying to do the old Wi-Fi thing again.
Oh my goodness.
But if I switch it off of Wi-Fi, then you know what's going to happen. Anyway, I don't know. Why is it glitchy again? That's a little frustrating.
What kind of internet stuff you do in the background? I paused my back blaze
Yeah. Well, it's got to
as
be on
much.
my end. Anyway, welcome to the world. Just for an experiment, I'm going to turn off Wi-Fi. If everything stops, don't worry, dear viewer or dear
Yes.
listener. It will pick right back up. So here we go.
Okay, here we
Three,
go.
two,
Cross my
one.
fingers.
And it's
And I still
still
see you.
still going. I guess I'm not sure why.
Yeah,
That's a
and
problem
something
that I can't
updated
solve at
on
the moment.
the YouTube thing. It still says the stream health.
I'm going to go on a
Not
limb and say it's YouTube's fault because they don't know what they're doing in
blame
the
YouTube.
streaming thing.
Yes, indeed. Well, hopefully the picture will catch up because we've got plenty of technology to talk about. And before we get started, my hat this evening.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the podcast, this is another special one. Last week was the canoe race, and this one, Dave, tell them what you're seeing here.
Well, it's nothing. It's just a blank palette. Is this one that you get your markers out and you make your own hat?
Yeah, it's a snow blizzard hat. It's a kind of a dark gray on the back and the bill, but it is a blank hat. I have a handful of them, and I was thinking about that earlier. I need to create like a hat where it was like dry erase, and you could just like write whatever you were feeling that day, or an LED one. I have seen like the LED hats. I do not have one of those, so it
Yeah.
would combine my trucker hats with your LED sign behind you there,
Yeah,
and
that'd
that
be
would be
cool.
magic. But yeah, just got out a nice, clean, plain trucker hat this evening.
Yeah, I have seen LED wearable type shirts
Yeah,
and hats and stuff. In the future, I think it's gonna be really cool. Like I think your fabric will just have lights built into it, woven into it, and it'll feel like fabric.
that'll not be annoying at all. It'll be like the old Bluetooth earpieces that had all the lights off the side that a lot of
Yeah.
truck drivers still use those things. I'm confused. But anyways, let us now get into some follow-up now that we have that important stuff out of the way. And this is one that you found, the never ending battle. But Gmail is getting
Mm,
serious about unwanted bulk mail.
yeah.
And so there, and this is from Paul Thrott over at Thrott.com. He is a huge Windows fan, but Gmail is great. Oh, and I'm getting a horrible ad for some sort of toe fungus on mine. Hopefully, you've got your ad blocker on.
Uh,
That is do this every evening and fungus will be gone in a week.
good to
Simple.
know.
Yes, but yeah, Google announced today that it will help protect Gmail users from bulk senders by instituting new rules they will need to follow. Those who break the rules will be prevented from sending emails to Gmail. And let me tell you this, as somebody that does a lot of email marketing stuff, if you are unable to send to Gmail, you are not going to be able to reach many people because if you didn't know, Gmail's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah,
you heard
and
that?
it probably to the detriment of our world. I keep getting people moved on and signed up for Gmail from Comcast or CenturyLink or AOL or
Yahoo,
whatever.
yeah, Hotmail.
Yeah, and they may say, what's wrong with this? And I was like, well, it's kind of like
Yes.
you don't know what you don't know, I suppose.
Yes, yeah. They say Gmail's AI powered defenses stop more than 99.9% of spam, which phishing and malware, which tells you just how much there is, because some still gets through, from reaching inboxes and block nearly 15 billion with a B unwanted emails every day. That
That's
is
a lot.
yeah, and they've been around 20 years now, Gmail, and they're saying, with the more complex, so they're going to have some email validation built in where bulk senders will be required to authenticate their email, which I hope a lot of people get that set up for like MailChimp or whatever, making sure your domain's validated. Easy unsubscribe. Gmail will require that commercial emails provide a one-click unsubscribe function, and they process these requests within 2 days. No more spam. Bulk senders will be held to a clear spam rate threshold to ensure Gmail users aren't bombarded with unwanted messages. So they're saying this is an industry first, and they'll go into effect by February of 2024. So I like it. I get a lot of emails that I didn't necessarily sign up for, and I get, you know, junky phishing emails and all kinds of stuff, even using Gmail with their filters already in place. So hopefully they will lead the way into a new generation of a cleaner inbox.
Yeah, I am definitely looking forward to more and more people being on that so that we can just have less spam in the world.
Yes.
So we'll see whether it's making a deal with the devil by
Well, yes, yes.
getting
Less
everybody over
spam
to,
so Google can show you more ads.
yeah,
But yes, I trust their ads more than the other stuff that comes through on a daily basis. So Gmail's getting rid of spam, and Amazon is getting rid of employees as they test humanoid robots in warehouse automation push.
hmm,
So they already have like the rolling, they're not humanoid robots, they're more like shelf robots that roll around their warehouses, but these are more like the ones that we've looked at before with the legs, the bipedal. Is that the
yeah,
correct
I
term
think that's
there?
correct.
But yeah, so they're testing those out. And of course, this article's from Bloomberg, and uh, they want me to pay before I can read the rest of it. But the robot is called Digit. It can
Hmm,
squat, bend, and grasp items using clasps that imitate hands. And they're saying something that'll be like, I don't know, 99% faster at picking out the right items and all that stuff. So
yeah.
uh, if you are a Amazon warehouse worker, take it while you can. I'm sure they won't be able to get rid of all of them, but the more of these robots they can get in there that don't need a break, and don't have unions.
Th-
Oh, when do robot unions show up? That's got to come someday. AI robot union?
well, I don't know. Robots, they don't have to pee, so that's an
Yeah.
advantage. But maybe the people who build the robots will get a
Oh,
union
yes.
going.
Yes. Yeah, they don't need a retirement plan. They don't need traditional health insurance. They just need some repairs here and there. But we keep seeing more and more robots, but we've been seeing more and more robot. I mean, when did the first robots come into industry? 50 years ago, probably, in the
I'm not
automotive
sure.
industry or something, to some level. But tools,
Yeah.
tools have been around for a while, making things easier.
Hey, Nate, and as you talk about this next story,
Yeah.
I'm going to go dark on your video feed. But don't worry,
Ooh.
the live stream will still be there.
Oh, wow.
I'm in a ditch brave real quick. I'm thinking it's pegging my CPU, so
Uh,
we're gonna give that a try. But you just carry
okay.
on, my friend, and I'm gonna go to full
I
screen.
I will carry on. And next up, Netflix. We've been talking about them and their gaming. I had that pick of the week. What was that one called? Leia's Horizon. That was a pick of the week a while back, and they're really getting to this gaming thing. Well, I saw this and I didn't realize they have released a game controller app for playing games on your TV. So on iOS or Android, you can download the Netflix gaming controller app, and then it's called Netflix Game Controller, and then you can load a Netflix game on your TV and use your phone as a controller for their games. So much better than having to buy like a 50 or $60 controller. It's not going to be as good as that, but an easier way than trying to use your Apple remote or something to play their games. So they keep investing in this, and I was surprised to see this app come through. And hopefully it will. They'll keep doing good stuff. More competition in the gaming space. We like that.
Yeah, I just am not. It's weird to me that like Netflix and gaming are going hand in hand, but I suppose it's not any different than Apple getting into gaming.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
so
And I saw, or I think it was the what's that? 15-minute podcast with John Gruber and Ben
oh, robot or
Thompson.
not? Oh no, Stratechery.
Yeah, the Stratechery one. They were talking about this, and you know, Netflix with DVDs going away and all that stuff, they really believe that gaming is, fits in with theirs content consumption
Yeah.
with their thing. And you have a subscription, so if you have that subscription, you also get the gaming. I did see, I didn't put it in the show notes this week, but lucky everybody, Netflix is raising their prices again.
Oh, yay.
Yes, I think on everything except for the ad-supported tiers. So the super cheap one where you get ads, that's
Right.
staying the same, but the other ones they're raising the prices once again, so that. And I saw somebody was saying, I don't know, over the last 4 years or whatever, it's gone from what was it like 11.99 up to now the top one's gonna be like $22 a month or something
Wow.
for the full HD with multiple screens and or 4K with multiple screens. So, like we were talking about, they're just going to keep pushing those prices up until enough people quit, and then they'll have to adjust accordingly.
Hey,
But
um, I'm hoping in the next couple seconds our live feed will get better. You know
okay,
what I think it was? I think
what's that?
Apple Notes was causing the problem.
Whoa, you got some Apple Notes, some heavy Apple noting going on.
Well, it was using up all my CPU for some reason.
Oh, that's crazy.
It
Yes,
is
that's
crazy.
a good little pro tip to check the activity monitor if you're having issues with your computer, or on Windows, go into the tax manager or the task manager and see there might be some rogue app that just decides to take all your memory and everything. I was working on somebody's computer the other day and they had this weird bar launcher thing. It was a Windows computer across the
Hmm.
top with the regular Windows bar across the bottom. And it was some application, I forget the name. I don't want anybody to know it anyways. But it was just fully maxing out the uh, 12 gigs of memory on their computer. They're like, this computer seems a little slow. They said, what, do you use this open bar thing or whatever it's called? I don't know what that is. So I removed that and I haven't heard back since. So,
Hmm.
and Todd says the live feed looks good now. So
Well, I don't
good
know.
tweaking, Dave.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to turn my driveway cam off because I turned it
What?
off.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We might just have to cancel the episode if we don't have driveway cam.
I know. I think we might have to skip it today. But
Oof.
uh, when I have both Wise and or
Wise.
Wise. When I have
Waze is the
Jeez.
directions.
When I have Waze and Notes turned down, my CPU usage goes down to only 95%. And you know what? I wasn't even using Activity Monitor. I was using
Oh,
Trial and Error, a good troubleshooting tip.
yeah.
I was turning off non-essential applications, and that seemed to do it. But our big offender in this case is OBS, and I can't turn that off or else the stream would
Yes.
end.
Yes, indeed. Well, our next one, we were talking last Monday night. We were like, there's rumors Tuesday morning, Apple's going to announce new iPads. And what did we get Tuesday morning, Dave?
Well, we have an iPad accessory, the
Yes.
iPad Pencil Pro? No, the iPad Pencil USB-C.
USB-C.
That's
Yes.
the clever name that they came up with, that crack marketing team.
Yes. So this
Yeah.
new pencil, it is $79, so it's cheaper than the retail prices on the Generation 1 pencil that works
Right.
with the old Lightning iPads,
And I have
and
those
cheaper
somewhere.
than the Pencil 2, which works with the newer ones. And this one has USB-C, so it's missing some features like the pressure sensitivity. It doesn't charge on the magnets on the side. So there's like three or four features that it doesn't have,
Yeah.
even some of them that the first generation one has.
So here's the mystery has been solved as to why this product exists. Do you remember a few years ago when the is it third, fourth generation iPad Air came out, and they're the ones with color. The I could just get my stupid iPad is sitting right
Pull
there.
out all your iPads, Dave. Show them
Okay, so
off.
let me grab my iPad here. Okay. So it looks like this, and it's got uh, the camera here, though. My camera is over on the side, but the new iPad Air's got the camera here. And so the new pencil does not have inductive charging, but magnetic clip-on edge. Look it
Yes.
up. Um,
Trademark.
so that it can stick here, but there's no inductive charger because on the Air, the camera's here, and there's not enough room
Uh,
for an inductive charger array. And that particular iPad is USB-C, and so it makes sense that the pencil would also be USB-C. And so the rumor is, or probably the reality is, it was designed in conjunction and made for that iPad. It just took them like a year and a half, 2 years, whatever,
yes.
to
Well,
get it in the production line. I don't know. They were supposed to come out together,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, and last year, the base model iPad, the 10th generation, that one went to USB-C, and I don't know if it only works with the
Oh,
first
maybe that's the
generation
one. Maybe it's not
pencil.
the Air. It's the base.
Yeah,
It's the 10th generation iPad.
because that one
Yeah,
switched to USB-C, where that one
yeah.
had forever had the
That's it.
lightning connection, but you
Last
would
year.
have
It
an
was
iPad
last
that
year.
needed USB-C, and then you would need the pencil that had lightning. In this one, it doesn't have the old like cap that comes off the side that you lose everywhere and then you plug it in. It slides out and then
It,
you plug a USB-C
it just kind
cable
of goes
into it.
bzz,
And I
bzz,
saw
like a little
somebody having
spring-loaded deal.
some fun with it on X. They did a 30-pin dock connector version of the
Oh
sliding.
boy.
So you would slide it all the way out and get the old long connector. And they did a couple other ones for fun of the other models that they could have released with the sliding version. But yeah, so it was very underwhelming for a very specific use case that you would want this new pencil. They did not release any iPads, but now there's rumors that before the end of the month, before October finishes, which is coming up soon,
Hmm.
that there might be some new Macs, particularly a new iMac, which has not been updated for quite a while.
Right.
So,
And I just purchased yesterday or the day before a an M1 iMac for a client on the refurbished Apple store. It's
oh,
$200 off, so it's about 1099, which is a great price. But all these rumors of the new thing, and so I'm like, I hope it I think the rumor is it will be out by the end of the month. And so
yes.
what I'm planning to do, that's less than 2 weeks away, is if a new one comes out, I'm sending that one back and getting a new one.
Oh, yes, yes.
I
And
hope
Todd chimed in, how dare Nate say X without following it with the social media platform formerly
formerly
known
known
as
as
Twitter?
Twitter. Yeah.
I've made the jump. I'll just go, well, I still call it Twitter half the time. It is interchangeable in my mind.
I don't even call it any. I call it Mastodon now. That's what I call it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. Well, you know what I'm ready to call Dave's Pro Tip of the Week.
Oh yeah, there it is. Way to go.
And oh, and it went over both our screens
I don't
in
think
the on
so.
the live stream. I see it over the whole thing. I'm gonna watch the replay.
Well, so what we're talking about today, and Nate reminded me, is that in Sonoma and on iOS 17, Apple has created a layer for the reactions. And if you do, and it takes the any camera source through its pipeline, and whether it's going out to Zoom, FaceTime, you're recording it for for a podcast or something like that.
Video.ninja that I'm using to
Yeah,
connect into our OBS stream.
it's not dependent on what tool you're using because Apple captures the video, processes it, and then spits it out the other end. So today, Nate and I are going to show you how to do these. And so, Nate, what was your first one here that you did just a moment ago?
I did the 2 thumbs up,
And
which
you
gives
get
me fireworks.
fireworks. Now, what happens if you do just one thumbs up?
That gives you a
That's
thumbs
thumbs
up
up.
emoji because if you can't see my thumbs up, you then want the
Yeah,
emoji,
it seems a little redundant.
which to I say thumbs down, which
Oh,
it
finally,
it feels like it's wanting me to look at the camera to do the reactions. If I look away, tell me if it does it because I'm not looking
it
now.
still does it.
Oh, okay. I was just, and then if I do 2 thumbs down because I'm really angry,
And
we
then
get a
it's raining on me.
rainstorm.
Yes. So here, I'll do one.
Yeah,
So
you do a few for us, Dave.
yeah, so one that I quite like is the now I can't remember if it does it on. So if you really want to rock out, you throw up those devil horns, and you will get the. Now I just
Laser
look
light
stupid because
show.
it's not working. Come on.
It worked.
Oh, there it
It's
is.
working.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at the wrong screen. It doesn't
Oh,
work on my OBS screen. But yeah,
huh.
so there it is. It's
And
coming
it
through
just keeps going. Yes.
since I did it
Yeah.
like 10 times.
Yeah. So these are fun. I don't know in reality how often you would need them, but it is very good to be aware of them. Now, was there one for the okay? There was one. Oh, Dave.
Yeah, we love these so much.
Yes. And
And
you see, they float. Okay, Dave, there are amazing things going on here
okay.
because I'm watching the stream. See, the
Oh
balloons are
yeah, it
going
is going
over
over
both.
both.
So it's processing on your computer, it's picking up the signal and doing it on
It
your
is
side.
because the video's coming out of my computer.
Wow, that's
That's weird.
wild. Because, yeah, I'm getting confetti on my side, and you can see the confetti goes in front
Weird.
and behind.
It thinks we're in the same frame.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
which makes sense
Hmm.
because technically we are in that window. But this is also good to know that if you are in a serious meeting, you might want to turn this off so that you're not accidentally getting a rainstorm in the middle of your sales
Or it's like,
presentation.
Bob, now was it 20 or 30% that you said? What you're down there at the
It
other end
was
of the table.
20%.
Oh, oh, why are you doing the Yeah. So, I guess it'd be on Zoom probably.
Yes.
But anyway, yes, it's so funny that that's the thing.
Todd says Dave's didn't go out over the stream, so he was just making hand gestures. Nate's is only in his window. I'm not even sure what's going on. What's going on? Is this the iPhone camera? It is not. I'm using my Canon M50 as my web camera,
And
so
I'm
it's
using my
doing that.
Sony.
Your Sony, so it's actually operating system based. So you would think that it would need to be your FaceTime camera or something, but anything you use to connect a camera to your computer for any meeting, that's going to be on. So to turn it off, when you're doing video conferencing, it should show up in your menu bar with a little, like a orange or a green window with a video monitor thing, and you can click that and turn it off, or you can trigger them without doing the hand signals.
I
So I
guess I'm
think
not.
what we're doing is really confusing the operating system. See, there
Yeah.
we get 2 thumbs up, I saw.
Well, I still can't get my devil horns to work again. Let me switch to
If
the
you go
Dave
full
cam.
screen, try. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
And I'm seeing it on my preview, but I don't know if it's coming out over
It's
the
not. There,
web.
our live stream's a little behind. I think YouTube slowed us down because we're not doing well with streaming. But yes, so that is
No, it's not
um
working. I'm
what?
looking at myself being an idiot with no devil's horns. So,
That's
that's funny.
interesting. So maybe yours must not be picking it up through
So
OBS.
so you show everybody your devil's horns here, okay? Yeah, so that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Why?
That's
Surely it
funny.
works.
So it's working. There is some serious voodoo going on here because it shows like double sometimes. It shows over the windows sometimes.
Yeah.
So yes, but those are called reactions.
I think it's
Um,
hilarious. Mine didn't fire for anybody
yes.
watching online, and I just look like an idiot. And so it kind of goes to show you that I just look like an idiot most of the time.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's kind of, well, we won't go any further into that. One other thing I will say that is part of this feature is presenter overlay. Now, I don't think we're set up in any way to do this, but elevates your presence by including you on top of the content that you're sharing. So if you were on a Zoom call and you
Hmm.
were sharing your screen or a presentation, you can do a presenter overlay where it puts a little circle, but it
Oh,
uses
right.
the depth and everything. So it actually puts you a little bit above the circle, like outside of it. So it's, it's got that Apple touch on it.
It's kind of like the little circles like this, you know.
Yes, only if I was like, it would cut
You'd
and
be
it would have my
floating.
hat going above the circles.
Yeah,
So,
you kind of
pres-
are outside of the circle a little bit.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Yes, if only we were that
anyways,
fancy.
well, that was a fun adventure,
It
and
was.
hopefully all of those watching got to see that. And for all of you listening, it's a great reminder that you should be watching on YouTube because that was probably an extra awkward segment there.
Yeah. Hey,
Ah,
before you go to the next section, though, I'm
yeah,
gonna pull up the Wise Cam and see if we can slow down our thing again
yeah.
for
Or
our
break the
next
stream with.
segment.
Nice. Yeah, let's get that driveway cam going. A nice wet fall evening here in the Pacific Northwest. Your street is well lit there, my friend.
It
You
is,
got some
and
good street lights.
that street light right outside my house is
Bright.
very bright. I kind of wish it wasn't there,
Can
but
you install a dimmer switch on that? Maybe get a wise smart dimmer switch and just crawl up there and put that on so you could
I
turn
think
it down a
spray
bit.
paint might be the best. But
Yes, well, there's that too. Well, very nice. Well, now that we've got driveway cam, that means it's time for everybody's favorite segment, just the headlines. Oh, and I'm seeing, oh no, I was seeing a black screen on the delayed stream over
oh
there,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
was before the driveway cam. That's fine. It is way behind on my window, especially there. I should just hide
Mine's
that.
pretty
So.
good. I must have a better setup than you.
No, I had paused it earlier on accident, so it was way back. Now I'm seeing the driveway cam. I've got multiple driveway cams on my screen. I'm a happy man, and I
Nice.
will read the headlines. Next year, SpaceX aims to average one launch every 2.5 days.
Come on, unrealistic.
China restricts exports of graphite as it escalates a global tech war.
And the pencil lovers of the world cry out in anger.
Yes. Minecraft has sold over 300 million with an M copies.
I have 3 copies.
Three copies.
I have four
Help
copies.
making a dent. Analog is making a 4K Nintendo 64.
Yes, yes, I saw.
New York bill would require a criminal background check to buy a 3D printer.
Boo.
And the IRS will pilot free direct tax filing in 2024.
Already. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Do you believe them?
In 2024, huh?
Yeah,
How long
yeah.
has
So
the
they're,
nation been around? 1776 or
well, when did we start paying taxes? 1912 or something like that, I
something?
saw. So, yeah, 110 years later, you won't have to go through a third jump through 25 hoops to file your taxes to
Yeah.
tell the government that already knows how much you made. And
Hmm.
yes,
I love
but
that cartoon. Oh, go ahead.
I will quickly remind people that we are the most nonpartisan tech podcast on the internet. See, this is great. We can add balloons now to our. They need more reactions, so we can have one for every sounder.
Hmm.
We're up in our video game here.
We are. thanks to Apple
Ah,
and their invasive reactions.
yes, yes. Most people would not be happy with, but we like to have some fun here. Let's move on to our takes of the week. Doo-doo. This first one, there is I guess it's a semi-annual survey, and by semi-annual, we mean twice a year, not every other year, I believe. But Piper Sandler Teens Survey, it's the 46th semi-annual Taking Stock with Teens Survey, Fall 2023, and they do have, I'm guessing, taking stock with teens, that's a registered trademark with Piper Sandler
Okay.
because you need that. But what they did, they surveyed 9,193 teens in 49 states. 15.7 was the average age, 54% male, 45% female, and 1% wow,
What?
non-binary. And then there was, it
I
was
think you need
pretty
to start
even.
over. Welcome to the Non Nerd Podcast.
Yes. Yes, let's reset. Now this is interesting. Average household income reported by these teens was $70,725, and teens currently part-time employed 37%. But they go through, they ask them a bunch of questions. Now, the interesting part of this is it's all self-reported
Mm,
stuff. So that one of the things that was going around the tech world, the second link I have in the show notes, teens spend average of 4.8 hours per day on social media. So that was one of the findings on this. So,
how much do their
TikTok,
parents put on their 8?
yeah,
I've
exactly.
seen some men and women, but lots of ladies who spend an awful lot of time on social media.
Well, I spend a lot of time on there as well, but
Mm.
some might say that I am ladylike in that way. But yeah, and I think some of those numbers might have actually been from a different, oh, the Gallup Familial and Adolescent Health Survey, which does not quite roll off the tongue like the other name, the teens stock taking stock with teens. So we have, it's actually two different surveys. But yeah, the usage, people use their phones a lot. Are you surprised by that data, Dave?
No, but our producer had the great idea of putting the watch up there to see, so
Oh
we could tell
yes.
how far we're delayed. It's usually about 20 seconds. I mean,
Yeah, and they might have buffered it a little bit more. It seems like it's,
oh,
oh, your watch just went on the
yeah,
screen for
it's
me.
only like 12 seconds or so,
Yeah,
15
yeah,
seconds.
you're not too far behind.
Now that I shut down some of those rogue applications like Notes
Yes,
and
yeah.
Wisecam.
Oh, yes, yes.
Um,
So
what was the question you asked me?
before you got excited about showing your watch on the
Yeah,
live stream.
I don't know if you
Um,
noticed or not. I got a new watch. It's pretty cool.
yes, yes. I was asking if you're surprised that people use devices a lot.
No, I'm not
Uh,
surprised at that at all.
no.
And in fact, I encourage it. If we
Yes,
could just
yes.
everybody live in a, I don't know, uh, 1 square meter box that has everything they need in it, toilet, bed, uh, whatever, and they just have VR goggles with technology, that's the way I want the world to be.
Yes.
Wasn't there a
Yeah.
movie about that? It was called The Matrix or something. That's
Something
kind of
like
what
that.
it should be. All
That's what
VR.
you want.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would
Nice.
think how little work I'd have to do. I just have to sit there like this.
Yeah, sounds riveting.
Yeah.
Yes, the difference between introverts and extroverts.
Hmm.
But if you could guess, the top apps that people are using is YouTube,
Facebook.
in order: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, WhatsApp, and WeChat registered at zero for the U.S. as far
So
as time
TikTok
spent.
is that popular, huh?
Yeah, it's right behind YouTube for all teenagers. So for all teenagers, YouTube's at 1.9 hours, TikTok's at 1.5 hours.
I guess I should
People
download
use
that. How do you
TikTok.
spell it? TAC, T-A?
Yeah.
Talk? Talk Tack?
You spell it China.
Yeah.
Heyo. But yeah, so and I did see something, I forget now which survey's data was in, that Netflix was actually ahead of YouTube for teenagers, but now it's like really close. I would have guessed YouTube was a mile ahead of
Hmm.
Netflix for watch time for kids.
Yeah, I mean, hmm. I don't know
Yeah.
because uh, they're different content. One has
Yeah, that's
shows
true.
and movies. The other is like uh, social media influencers and how to change your oil and that type of stuff.
Well, only
DIY.
one of them has Mr. Beast, Dr. R.I.P., VHS, and Not Nerd.
Well,
Netflix does not have any of those three, so
well,
that's why
don't.
I'm just
Todd didn't want to say
shocked.
anything, but there might be something in the works for a Netflix show.
Netflix.
With he
Oh,
didn't come
yes.
out right out and say it, but I talked to him
Yes.
the other day and I said, "What's up?" And he's like, "Oh, you know."
Talking with
And I was
Netflix.
like, "Oh, Netflix."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, there is tons of data in these surveys, and as a parent, it's interesting to look through there. But yeah, you can read through. I've got links to both those that are talked about in those articles in the show notes. This next one, we've kind of mentioned this, but it really hasn't been spread out too far. Apple's talked about they were going to do it, but the idea of passkeys,
Hmm.
and this from The Verge, Amazon enables passwordless passkeys on iOS and the web. So when Amazon starts rolling out something like this, and I know Google's starting to do it with Gmail and some of their services, some iOS stuff has it where this new idea of passkeys. Now, it basically you don't need a password. You probably still will have a password at least for the foreseeable future, but it uses something else to log you in, like Face ID or Touch ID, some sort of verification to know that it's you,
And it
and to
sometimes
get
doesn't it
signed in.
send an email to you? Is that a
Yeah, it
passkey?
can. I think I think it's more on supposed to use like whatever your phone or your device has for that stuff to identify you. But if you have two-factor on, you would still be getting the other things. But from what I hear people saying that passkeys are really good, it makes things more secure, and all the companies seem to be on board with it. So it's not just Apple's doing this and everything else you'll have to do something. And you figure if Apple, Google, and Amazon are doing it, and I think Facebook might have started doing it too. If you have those four companies on board, everybody's going to have to start using it because those that's a vast majority of internet logins is
Yeah.
between those four companies.
Why don't those four companies team up and end world hunger, provide the world with clean water, access to information? I mean, they could do it.
Yeah,
They
they
could do it.
could. They could. And Todd said under a minute behind us, but he also said he needs Sniper Wolf to dox Dr. RIP VHS so I get more viewers. Is
All
that a
right.
joke only I get? I'm not familiar with Sniper Wolf, but I'm guessing he's some YouTuber that doxes people because
I think
that's
it's Dr.
something.
VHS's
His alt
identity. Yeah, his alter ego.
alt account, yes, multiple channels so he can dox himself and get more viewers. But
Hmm.
yes, always good to go check out the latest videos at Dr. RIP VHS.
And it's
And
always pretty easy to disappoint me because I have such high standards, but we have three viewers. Producer Todd, you and me right now.
But Wes chimed in earlier.
Oh, I don't
Yes.
think he's there now. I just refreshed my screen. It says three watching.
Oh, wow. So you've got two open, and then Todd's got one.
Well, no, I just have one open.
I do not have one open. So.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
so
And you know what would help that is if each week when I think, oh, I need to put out a story or whatever to remind everybody to come watch the live stream, and then it gets to be showtime and I haven't done it yet. So
every time I
let's try
share it, we have
this.
major problems, and I'm like, ah, that one
Yeah.
person's watching and it's terrible.
Yes, Wes is here, and Todd says that he's two of those views. I wonder if they do some IP filtering on that. But let's try this for all our current listeners and future listeners. Hey Siri, Set a reminder for Monday nights at 6:30 for the Not Nerd podcast. It won't work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did it work for you?
it worked for me, and I thought I had Hey Siri turned off on my phone.
I'm listening on
You
my headset,
snuck
so
back
unless
in.
she's
Yeah,
magic
the
somehow.
headsets, unless you've got it on in the living room. But quick sidestep, Dave.
Okay.
I remember a few years ago, Apple had this thing where when you set up the lady, the voice assistant, it would train on your voice
Yeah.
so that it would only respond to your voice. They had this whole thing. Now, I haven't heard much about that. I always thought that maybe they were going to use it as like a security feature, that if they had enough data and they could train on voices well enough, that then they could, use that as one of the biometrics on the phone. But
My
I don't
voice
seem to have
is
heard
my
much.
password.
Yes. But I don't know if they're still doing that with the. Maybe it's because I've just transferred phones every time that it hasn't asked me. So maybe when you set up your new phone, did it have you
No,
voice train,
I don't
or is
think
it
there
stored in
was a voice training, but
iCloud
I
or?
wonder if they just do it in the background. They like
Yeah,
they when they say, set up Siri, say, hey Siri, and they just lock it in right then. So I think it must be part of that
part of
process.
the part of the stuff. Okay, well, on to the next one. Security and privacy. According to the FTC, consumers reported losing more than 8.8 billion with a B dollars to fraud in 2022, a 44% increase over the prior year.
Wow, that's crazy.
8.8 billion dollars. That
So this is why, I mean, I can't get anybody on board at work to get on this bandwagon. And it's not, so we have a database of people, and it's not that I don't trust the people who work for us. It's that I may not trust the people who can access their accounts outside of them. And you think, well, what's the worst that could happen? They have a bunch of people's names and addresses. No. What they do is they use that information for phishing attempts
yeah.
to swindle people out of their money. And so it's like, hi, so and so. I am from this organization that you support. Uh, we noticed you donated something. The check bounced. Please resend it to my address. Or, I mean, it
Yeah,
could
or
be,
give me I need to verify your credit
yeah,
card number. Something seems to be wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's where the information is really
And it's so
harmful.
insidious that like people don't even know that it's happening.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just they're like, how did they fish me? Where did they get my information? Oh, probably 30 different sources that have been hacked, and they
Yeah.
build profiles on you, and just every piece of information they get. It's like, I'm your grandson Tommy, and I'm caught in Nicaraguan jail. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I better send the money because he did go to Nicaragua because they have
Yeah.
your information.
Yeah, yeah. My grandpa got one of those calls once, but the link that I actually put for this, where I got the statistic, is a website that I've come across a couple times, and it's scamspotter.org.
Mm.
And they have some helpful resources. Like on here, they have video on, is your relative really in need of gift card bail payments? Is that really the government asking for gift cards? So they've got a lot of great videos on here and a lot of great resources and different scams that they cover, and it's done in a fun way on the website. They've got a little quiz that you can take
Hmm.
to see if you can tell what's a scam and what's not. Because, I mean, $8.8 billion. Do you want to contribute to that fund? I don't think so. So take a few minutes, go there, and learn a bit
You're going to be
about.
disappointed that I don't have the Wise Cam going because some people just walked by.
Oh man.
Next week, get that back up
Next
and running.
week. Maybe you should just set up out in the driveway
I
and
could.
then people could just walk behind you.
Well, I keep thinking I have my phone tethered to the computer and I just have to hit a button to turn it on so I could do it on my phone. But then I'm like, that's going to be a tiny square. And it's like,
Yeah.
or I could
We
point the
need
camera
full
at an iPad.
HD driveway cam.
Well, here we go. I mean, I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. I could just do driveway
Oh yeah.
cam. So if I'll pop that back up if something else happens.
Okay, okay, yeah, keep that on the
Yeah.
ready. But on the scams page, they have a couple just quick tips.
Okay.
Slow down, be skeptical of urgent pop-ups,
Hmm.
spot check, investigate the company, stop, don't send, avoid unusual payment methods. So those are three great tips that would save a lot of people a lot of money and heartache. The
Hmm.
holistic cost,
So my grandma. Oh, wait, what was that you said there?
the holistic cost of those three tips, check out.
Well, my grandma said, "Hey, do you want Bitcoin for Christmas?" I scammed some guy out of a bunch of Bitcoin, and I need to spread it around. So that would be
Yeah,
an unusual payment method.
unusual payment method. Your grandma is money laundering.
She is such a scammer.
Crypto laundering. But
Yeah.
yeah, they've got a lot of really good stuff there. I'll try to share it on the socials too, just to promote scamspotter.org because they've got a lot of stuff. And then we actually have a follow up security privacy story of what we talked about a week or two ago. Hacker leaks millions more 23andMe user records
Oh
on
no,
cybercrime forum. Now, luckily for
no.
you, Dave, I think these ones are just from the UK or
Oh,
Great Britain. Um,
screw those guys.
Golem claimed the dataset contains information on people who come from Great Britain, including data from the wealthiest people living in the US and Western Europe on the list.
Well, that's not
Uh,
me.
no, no.
How do
So
they know the person's uh
doing
how
some
much
cross
money they have?
referencing, I don't know, but yeah, it doesn't sound good that either there's a really easy way for people to get information out of 23andMe, or there was a serious issue there. So there was a couple people after the first story broke that were like, there's more to this than what they're saying. So we'll see
So,
what's 23andMe's statement here. Incident on customers reusing passwords. There's a note at the end that they updated the article with a statement from 23andMe's spokesperson, but I'm furiously trying to find the official statement there, which maybe it's, oh, here it is. 23andMe's spokesperson, Andy Kill. Yes, Andy Kill. Andrew Kill is his first name. Kill, Kill is his last name, said in an emailed statement that the company was made aware of this new leak today and that it is reviewing the data to determine if it is legitimate. So that's the big updated
hmm,
statement from 23andMe.
I wonder if you think if I asked they'd send my spit back.
Yeah.
It's been a few years. Maybe I don't want it back. Um,
No.
so I was talking about our database where I work, and uh, uh, a very well-intended employee sent me a service that works with the database that does like data cleaning.
Oh,
But I'm like, I can my response was kind of cheeky, where I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to read the headline of this
yes.
company's leaked 8 billion clients' data
Yeah,
online."
exactly.
I'm
The
like,
company that
there is no way I'm giving anybody keys to
give
our
more.
database.
Is it called Kathy or something? Is it a woman's name? There's an ad
No,
on some of the podcasts I listen to for a service similar to that where it
yeah, it's
will take all
specific to
your
this.
customer database and
Yeah,
go through and check it against address records and that kind of stuff so you have
yeah.
better information. But
It's
yeah,
I mean, it was basic stuff like, oh, well, the formatting of like phone numbers and stuff. They fix that. It's automated now.
yes,
You just type the number in and it fixes it. Anyway, it seemed like a very unnecessary service, but it really opened you up to a lot of
yes.
security risks.
Yes, indeed. Well, let us cleanse our palate a little bit with our bonus odd take. In this first one, we're definitely getting the show title from this. It is the NASA Buzzword Generator from 1966. And this
Okay.
comes from whereisroadster.com/buzzword. But the Buzzword Generator is based on an algorithm from NASA dated 10 October 1966. Pick any 3-digit number from random. You can choose one from your head or use the random one chosen for you. Press the generate button and wham, pow, zap. You sound just like you know what you're talking about. You may not know what systemized logistical projection means, but don't worry, neither do they. The important thing is that the buzzword generator provides the user with the perfect aid for preparing anything on the subject of spaceflight. Automatically, you have 1,000 different combinations, all of which will give you the proper ring of decisive, progressive, knowledgeable authority.
That's a lot of words.
Whew, yes, yes. So the one that came up for me was 657, optimal logistical projection.
So these are
Which,
real words. They're just pulling them out, or are they mixing a
yeah,
bunch of
so
words together?
there's this document they found from 1966 that was a NASA memorandum in Houston, Texas for buzzword generator, and they had 3 columns of words. And then the procedure is simple. Think of any 3-digit number at random and then select the corresponding buzzword. So
Why
this
would
was
they
an
want a
official
buzzword though?
NASA document. Who knows? That's what our tax dollars are going to.
Well, it's because they have to do all this stuff to get to throw off the media from all the
Yes.
aliens.
Yes, yes. So you can hit the random button. That's the way to do it, unless you have a favorite number between 1 and 1,000. But responsive monitored time phase. You can sound so official with these.
Let me think of a number here. Let's see. It's 72 degrees in here, so do like 720.
720. Let's do it. 720. Generate synchronized monitored options.
Hmm, interesting.
Very nice. Yeah,
Well,
let's
that's
go.
fun.
Yeah, let's go 072. See what that comes up with. Integrated incremental capability. That might be our show title there. Integrated incremental capability. That sounds about like my
And it
brainwaves
means
on
nothing. It's
someday.
so
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. Nothing buzzwords. So you can head there, and we also have a bonus odd take, one that you had found, Dave, that is the simple counter dot app.
Oh yeah.
And man, is it a simple counter.
Yeah, I'm tempted to put the web thing back up, but I don't want the live stream to crash. So, yeah, it's you just let's say you're at a concert and someone says you're supposed to count who's in this section, and you just bring up a web browser on your phone or iPad or computer or whatever, and it's just tap 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 tap, and it counts up. That's all it does. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and it's just a website, so you could pull it up on anything, and
Hmm.
it gives you a plus, a minus, and shows you the number in the middle. There are some settings. You can set the count of where you want to start. You can have a limit. So if you wanted to have a maximum limit of what you were counting, and then you've got 8 different color backgrounds for you
And
with a very bright pink or
and that was
orange. Woo!
simplecounter.app, right?
Yes, simplecounter.app.
Well, at the
And
risk of wrecking everything, I'm going to show our audience what it's like here. So, yeah, there it is on my phone,
yeah.
and I'm just going to tap the screen. Oh, it's not working. What's going on here? Oh, I got to hit the
Oh,
plus. Sorry.
you got to scroll down to the plus that
Yeah,
or
and that's it.
activate it.
Oh no, I counted
Wow.
too many in that section. I got to go down by one. That's the entire website. That's all it does.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Why not? And do they even they've got a little info button. Simple tool for counting things and keeping track of numbers. Learn more. Buy me a coffee. Credit goes to Henry Egloff. Henry Egloff. Thank you
That's
very
not a real
much.
name.
Henry Egloff. Let's see if he has any other.
Egloff.
He's got a whole nother website for Simple Counter. If you go
Hmm.
to henryegloff.com/simple counter, then he's got some pictures of it and instructions, and then you can go back and launch the Simple Counter. Henry
Here,
Egloff, thank you for this. I
I'm gonna
like
try
it, my
something here.
friend.
There. See, I could put it in the middle of
Oh,
our
yeah,
screen.
there you go.
Okay.
Very nice. Playing with the live stream.
Yep, loving to wreck shop when we're
Wreck
live.
shop. And you know what else will wreck shop? Our picks of the week.
Sorry, I had to cough there. I
Yeah,
muted
that's all right.
right then.
That's your pick.
Yeah,
Coughing.
coughing. So I have this today, and so I'm breaking the rules a little bit in that it's not really something that I'm picking that I'm using. I'm picking it because I'm going to use it.
Oh.
And this little guy is called rock, paper, pencil from
Mm.
astropad.
What? Tell
And
me
that's it. It's
more.
just this. It's just a
Yeah.
poster. That's it. As noted before, I have an iPad, and I actually
Yeah.
have a textured matte
Mm.
type
Mm-hmm.
finish on it. So when you write on it, it's got a paper-like feel, and it also de-shinies the screen and makes it a little more matte, so it's not as
Yeah.
glary. Actually, you could probably see how it's not. So look where you can see where the camera is. See
Yeah.
how shiny
Oh, how shiny, and
that
then it
is,
gets very dull.
but over in the other area, it's more
And if you want to see
diffused.
one in the package, you could go back to my screen because I have sitting next to my desk is I do many things.
Yeah,
Paper screen protector. Turn glass into paper. Better drawing. Enjoy the texture of paper.
yeah, very similar to the one that I have on mine.
Yeah.
Well, the rock paper pencil is a
Yeah.
different product from the fine folks over at Astropad. But look at the fit and finish of this. So there's the thing. You open
Yeah.
up the packaging.
Oh.
There is a plastic,
Oh,
uh,
like portfolio.
like a portfolio with the product inside, and I'll tell you more about the product in a moment.
Wow.
And then inside the packaging are printed instructions of how
That
to
is
apply this textured surface.
very nice graphic design touches on that. They went to the next level, and then there's what is that
Those
little
are
circle there?
those are custom pencil tips that are supposed to
Oh,
work with this
okay.
so that it feels even more like paper. And I
Wow.
haven't figured this out, but I think this is just stickers inside this
Oh,
little
okay.
pouch here.
Door.
But look, everything is, I mean,
Ah, I love a company like that
come
that
on.
just goes above and beyond with the
It's
packaging to make it a
amazing.
fun experience.
Yeah. So I'm eager to try it out. I'll tell you guys next week how it goes. It's probably going to be a better experience than my $8 paper-like thing that I have on there now.
Yes.
This was not $8, but it wasn't what you'd think. It was around 30 bucks.
Okay.
But for a textured surface with two pencil tips and that great packaging. Oh, and it's magnetic. And so how does this
Oh,
work? So you're supposed to spray it with water or clean it. I don't know what that spray thing was.
yeah.
I don't know if it was denoting put a sheen of water or if it was just clean it. I think it was just clean it.
Clean your screen real good.
But then it's got two strips of magnets on the side, and you put it on your
Oh.
iPad and it aligns. And if you
Oh,
don't want it on there,
nice.
you just peel it off.
Take it out. That is a very cool
It's
feature.
reusable. Yeah.
Very nice.
So
Very cool. The rock paper pencil.
rock, paper, pencil, not rock, paper, scissors.
No.
Rock, paper, pencil by
Very cool.
Astropad.
Astropad. I like it. I
I
like it.
ordered it like 6 months ago.
Yes. Well, my pick of the week this week is an app, and it is called Reality Composer. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wait, I remember like way back in your WWDC 2019 podcast that you were talking about Apple's new Reality Composer feature.
I was just
And
going to
you'd be
mention that.
correct. And in the subsequent years, you might have heard more about Reality Composer and their AR stuff. Well, just this week, they have released an update to this app. And we've talked about apps like this before, but this is from Apple. It is free. And what they have is they have 3D object capture. Now, this app's been around, but the actual capturing a 3D object in this app is a new feature. Now, why this is important is because we've got the Vision Pro coming out. You know, AR, you're starting to see it more places. But with this, you just open up the app, you have an object, and then it guides you step by step to take enough images to create a 3D object. Now, you can see there, you might be thinking, Nate, how did you get your drink into your phone?
And Nate, share that with me, and I'll put it in the
Yeah,
overview.
have a sip. Oh, I texted it to you a while ago,
Oh,
but I can share it with you.
I looked in my
Through.
shared files in the app.
I will text it to you again.
Because I think I could put
Um,
it in that overlay. That might
yeah,
be really
so, and that's another part of it is now with these 3D objects, Apple has built it into more things. So you can do like in a keynote presentation, or you can just message it to somebody, and then you can open it with previews. So you can see there, when I did this, the lighting was not great,
Let me
but
go
it
to
did a
your.
pretty good job. And then you have an AR object like other ones we've talked about before. I put this in the living room and I made it giant, and then you can like move it around, and it was behind the chair, and it actually, with the LiDAR sensor, was, measuring that depth and
So
putting
this
it behind the chair.
you made this. So
I made that. I made that, and I'm actually drinking the real thing so you can compare.
yeah, go back to the back there. It's pretty close.
And I did this very quickly. I just put it on the coffee table, and it was in our dimly lit living room. So if you had some good light, and a guy that we pay attention to, Alex Lindsay, who is
Yeah.
really into this photogrammetry, he is really liking this app, and he's really impressed. Now he's got,
Look,
apps that cost thousands of dollars. Hey, there
I
you
have
go.
one
Shared
too.
my drink with you.
I actually looked on the table so I could grab it.
Grab it.
Oh, look, and it's got occlusion built in,
Yeah. So
or
your
whatever you
hand
call that.
goes behind it.
That's
Um,
amazing.
And I've tried apps like this. Most of them, you get like a watermark on it or whatever. You have to pay for the app. But this one
Hmm,
from Apple is completely free. You can play with these objects. So I think we're going to start seeing more of this for like product photos. You can, like IKEA has their app and Amazon has some of it.
that's pretty
But
cool.
now you at home can do your 3D object animation. And it was funny. It gives you all these little hints on the screen. It's like, uh, you could flip the object, but I don't know if you want to flip this object. So I think it recognized it was a drink and was saying you might not want to turn that over to scan the
Ah,
bottom of it.
or I thought it
Um,
was saying you could flip this object,
yeah,
but I'm not
flip
sure you
that
want
object.
to flip
Yeah,
it.
get a good 3D scan of all your fingers.
So I
Um,
I kind of pointed around and tried to do some stuff on my desk, but I had too much competing garbage.
Yes, yeah. It
So
does
it needs to be
say
more
that you need to
isolated.
have, like clear off a table, put it in the middle,
Yeah.
have some decent lighting. So I'm going to play around with it some more. I do something maybe more exciting than my drink can. Maybe I'll do some of Isla's stuffies, and then she could play with them in the AR world.
Well, when you
But
have uh, I I thought of this earlier, but since we're talking about drinks and stuff like that, you
yeah.
have your weekly hat, and
Hmm.
some of you may have noticed I was sipping out of a cup,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
a Been There series from Starbucks, and so
Mm.
this winter I'm going to feature a different cup from different
Ooh,
places that me or a member of my family has been to.
very
This one
nice.
is Gay Paris. I've not
There it
been there, but
is.
my daughter sure has. So be
Brought you the
looking
mug.
out for
For
the
more mugs.
fun
It's
stuff.
just going to become the Trinket Cast.
Yeah,
That is another podcast idea, the Trinket
the
Cast. But
trinket cast. Look at our
that's what I need to do
trinkets.
with all of my hats is create 3D objects, and you could do the same with mugs. Then we could share them with people.
Yeah.
They could download all your
Well,
mugs, all my hats.
I was thinking with that hat, it's unfortunate that it's not green because we could just put our own green
Oh yeah,
screened
green.
image
Ooh,
on
I
there.
might need to. Well, off to eBay to find some green caps, and then we can do green screening on my hat.
I played around with
Genius.
it before where I had like my green screen
Yeah.
stuff back there, and it does a really good job. Like I had like a video running, and where there was a green, you could see the video behind there, and everything else
Yes.
was it.
I only have one problem with green screen, much like portrait
Mm.
photo. It's these things hanging off either side of my face
Well,
that get
wait,
a little
I have
issue
something
for the
for
green
that.
screen. No, has my wife been talking to you again?
No,
Get those scissors away from me.
yeah, well,
Yes, first world problems. My
first world
mustache
problems.
doesn't work with portrait mode or green
Nate,
screens.
I hope that you and I live long enough so that technology will allow
Advances.
green screen and photos, portrait photos, to do your mustache.
Yes.
If only.
Utopia.
Yeah.
Holy.
You'll be on your deathbed. Oh, Granny, grandson, thank
Try
you for
that new
showing me
iPhone.
I can, I can finally die. And you'll just keel over right there.
The iPhone 98 is here. Will it finally do it? Oh, well, with that, before we pontificate anymore, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for those that joined the live stream. Thanks for those that are watching on YouTube later in your favorite podcast app. We're on Rumble now. I'm posting it on X usually every
What?
week. We're all over the place. You can
Rumble?
find us. Rumble. Rumble video service. We're getting some views over there. I was like, there's probably not many tech podcasts on
Is that
this.
where the guys get together and hang out, like at the
Yes.
bar?
And they
Oh,
rumble.
is that Bumble?
Bumble,
Or
yeah,
what?
different app
Oh, is
there.
that a different thing?
Yeah, maybe we'll take the Not Nerd podcast to Tinder. We'll post it
Tinder.
anywhere
That's
where we can help people tech better. But yes, with that, share it with a friend. Get it. Gather friends on Monday nights. Go to the bar and stream it on a TV. The Not Nerd podcast because we want everybody to be able to get out there and tech better.
go to hotels, bars. Look for Apple TVs that you can share video to.
Yes.
Oh, be
Airplay
glorious.
it everywhere.
Yeah.